And now, please welcome back to the stage Chairman, President, and Chief Executive Officer of Lockheed Martin, Ms. Marillyn Hewson.
It is now my privilege to present the 2018 Scientist of the Year Award to Dr. Clarise Starr. From a young age, Clarise was curious about the world around her. As a child, she studied flowers and plants and contemplated their features and differences. She questioned the way things grew and how organisms mutated. In addition to this deep natural curiosity, Clarise knew she wanted to serve others. As she grew up, Clarise looked for ways to pursue these two passions and bring them together. After graduating from high school, she attended the University of Texas at San Antonio. She chose the field of biology, earning her degree with honors. Clarise then continued her education, going to the University of Michigan to study and conduct research at one of the world's premier biomedical training facilities. While there, she earned her Ph.D. in microbiology and immunology. Early in her studies, Clarise said she wanted to work with, as she described it, really, really scary things. This eventually led her to the United States Air Force School of Aerospace Medicine Applied Technology Center. The lab's mission was to develop testing for bioterrorism threats. Among her professional achievements, Clarise helped design a portable diagnostic tool to detect biological weapons. She also developed a test that detects tropical diseases, a test which is now in use by the Air Force Special Operations around the world. And her evaluation of antibacterial bandages led to dramatic improvements in the care of wounded warriors. It is my distinct pleasure this evening to present to you the 2018 Scientist of the Year, HENAAC Scientist of the Year, Dr. Clarise Starr.
First and foremost, I want to thank you so very much for this opportunity to come here. This is my first HENAAC, and I came in with a bang, right? I will tell you, I have had the wonderful opportunity to meet all the winners, and I am a writer also, and I love stories. And I will tell you, I have read some really great stories in the last 3 days, and you amaze me, all of you, and I'm honored to be here. So, if you were to ask my colleagues what my work motto is, and what I say ad nauseum all the time, is focus on the science. Focus on the science, focus on the science. And lately, my lab has been doing this and chanting it as their mantra, focus on the science. And we tend to do this when we have bad days in science. And I'm not talking about the experiments not working type of bad days in science, but I'm talking about the really bad days in science. Another deep dive into whether or not your program and your science is worth keeping. Inadvertently getting into the political crosshairs of people way above your pay grade, and my personal non-favorite thing of someone trying to blow out your candle to make theirs just a little bit more brighter. And I think you know what I'm talking about. I hate to say that the biggest challenge that I've had as a Latina woman, or human being in general, is how to deal with the really bad days in science. And you're gonna have them. And I will tell you that I bear witness to unfair practices at the expense of others. I've seen morale-crushing decisions being done, and I've had to deal with claws coming at me when I'm just trying to do the right thing. And this happens everywhere. It doesn't happen just in the government, it happens everywhere. And I've learned a lot in the last few years, and I thought that maybe that's what I should share with you of how I deal with that. I will tell you that when these things happen, and they happen a lot, as I mentioned, I have repeated to myself that I want to do things ethically, morally, and try to get the mission done, even though I really don't want to sometimes. Really, really, really don't want to. Tu sabes, right? And I have repeated to myself that if I focus on the science and follow these things, that success will find itself to me. And even if I lose, I still win, because I can sleep with my conscience at night. And I can look in the eyes of my children and know that I have not contributed to the rot that sometimes finds our ways into our science and our livelihood. So this award means a great deal to me, not just because of the science and because this is awesome, but because you have acknowledged my higher truth. And if you have similar truths and you're sitting up there, then I have great faith that you will be acknowledged someday too. If I could leave you with some sage advice, and I'm looking up because all I see is, hi guys, how are you? Some sage advice to our younger generation embarking on STEM, it would be to learn how to talk about your science to non-science people. Absolutely. Learn how to thank you. Learn how to take your brilliant, beautiful ideas and make them easy for a non-science person to understand. Non-science people are responsible of the money, the policy, and the ultimate decisions that will shape science and technology in the future. It's a little scary, just saying. No comment, okay. All right. A lot of what I'm being acknowledged here today for is they mentioned some science, and that's great. But a lot of what I'm being acknowledged here for is that I have the uncanny ability to go and talk to non-science people, kind of scare the hell out of them because I'm a virologist, and say, give me money for the science. And it works, and I get money for our science. My talent is in writing and explaining pretty complicated things to people who have money and will give us money for our science. So you may be sitting on the biggest, most brilliant idea in the world, but if you cannot talk to someone about it in a way that they understand, they won't give you the resources you need, and you will deny your God-given talent to the world. So learn how to talk about your science. We need the scientists and the science whisperers desperately right now. So, in addition to the a little more mature audience, my advice to you is this. After you've established your wonderful career, take your turn at the policy table. We desperately need you, and our future world depends on it. Thank you very much for this humble offer.